focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. Yes Bank and CNBC-TV18 present the Growth Summit Vision for a $10 trillion economy in association with Max Life Insurance.
India's outstanding economic advancement unleashes a new wave of opportunities. The nation has embarked on a path to becoming a dominant global player. To leverage these opportunities and efficiently channelize the rising ambitions that come with it, we bring to you a panel of some noteworthy industry experts. And I would like to invite my colleague Ekta Batra, CNBC-TV18, to please moderate the session.
Today we are here to talk about the story of how companies have grown in the state of Gujarat. So gentlemen, welcome to the panel. Mr. Suparkar, I'm going to start with you because you're in the agrochemical space. You've been in the business since I think the 1980s. But there have been two phases of growth in Gujarat. One which was till 2003 and one which was post-2003 when there were lots of incentives which really changed the face of the state. So give us a sense in terms of what the secret sauce is when it comes to Gujarat's success, which has helped you catapult your growth.
We are exporting to more than 80 countries around the world. But Gujarat is the only state in India where you find a fully developed city almost every 100 kilometers. Gujarat is uniformly developed, and so the people, mindset is also fully developed, and they are good people to work with. After 2003, the vision was very clear and very wide, and we were encouraged to think big. Before 2003, we were not thinking so big. But then, 2003 onwards, the setting up of the capacity, setting up the plant, acquiring of land become easy. And we were required to think, we also thought in a big way going forward.
Okay. Well, Mr. Gandhi, you're in a sector which is to do with animal health. It's more of a critical sector, more delicate sector. How did business change post 2003? What was your experience like?
We started business over here in around 1997. Overall, from 1997, I would say that the experience, even in the earlier phase, had been good. It's not that it was not good. But the state has always held the hand. They had held our hand with all the difficult times we had, being considerate, listening to the problems, understanding that the problems are true. So, all these things are as important as an incentive that you give, because an incentive when you give, it's something that you might probably lure onto somebody to come over here. But when a government looks at it in a manner and tries to hold your hand once you are here and then help you come over that problem and take it further. So we have gone through that stage and we have had support from the Gujarat government. Our financing was also from one of the state financing agencies. So the government of Gujarat has helped us and taken us all along, and representations that have been made, they have been looked into. Sometimes it takes a little time, but then yes, we have been given the right treatment as what we would have thought.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, on this side of my panel, we have companies which started businesses, I think, post 2003, one as late as 2017. So I'm going to get to that in just a bit. But Mr. Behram, I'm going to come to you. You started business in 2005. Why did you choose Gujarat in specific? How has business grown for you?
Whatever Ava is today, and whatever we have grown to, is specifically for the simple reason that at that time, when we had applied for the license in 2003-4 for natural mineral water, because all the rest are packaged waters. This was the first natural mineral water south of New Delhi. I approached our then Honorable Chief Minister, who is now our Prime Minister, regarding my pending application for the license at national level. And he not only encouraged me, he said, I will only inaugurate it. And not only did he help us along the way to get the license expedited and all the permissions expedited, he himself launched the brand on 19th October 2005. So you can say that I am deeply ingratiated, grateful to the government of Gujarat through him for helping us launch India's first natural mineral water south of New Delhi. So Gujarat is the fountainhead of entrepreneurship, also great small businesses, MSMEs, and of course the Gujarati spirit of entrepreneurship. So we feel that if we had not been in Gujarat, perhaps we could not have taken on the might of the big companies and not only flourished but gone on to become the largest natural mineral water seller in terms of number of bottles.
Okay. In terms of the supply chain, I think that would be very critical for your business, the criticality of your supply chain. How did you get help within this, to ensure that your supply chain is completely efficient? What are you doing henceforth to ensure that it probably becomes more efficient? And what are the state incentives for that?
3 points. First of all, my entire supply chain is managed by my son and director, Mr. Shiroy Mehta, and he has got a terrific, he's an IIM Ahmedabad product, and he's got a terrific logistics team in place, great logistics sense of companies working for him. And today I'm proud to say that because of his great supply chain management, we have reached almost 800 pin codes of India, which is unthinkable. For the simple second point being, logistics and infrastructure has grown in India enormously in the last few years. The only way to make money in this competitive dog-eat-dog trade is you have to reach the home of your buyer or directly to the buyer, which will ensure that all the big institutional buyers like airlines and hotels and other institutions don't crush our spirit by total price cutting.
Okay. All right. So direct to home is probably one of the key strategies for your brand. But Vishal, you're in an industry which is extremely regulated, but Gujarat is a hub when it comes to pharmaceuticals. What has the state gotten right to make such a regulated sector, not only by India, but by the global regulators, successful?
When we say Gujarat and pharmaceuticals, both are very intertwined. And when we see the legacy, Gujarat has a very good legacy on pharmaceuticals. Because of this, we have very good, robust academic for pharmaceuticals that have been able to build Gujarat pharmaceutical industry, and very good infrastructure on side of policy making and on side of industry. With that, there have been journey of Gujarat which have been able to account about 2/3 of production of pharmaceuticals of India, which is happening from Gujarat. With that, industries have been able to grow and nurture themselves from small scale to MNCs, which have been able, and Indian MNCs, which are currently Gujarati MNCs, were earlier used to be small scale industries. So, and with this, I think we have been able to have development by pace, by longevity, and by regulation support and regulatory framework.
Okay, so it is basically the support by the sector, but you also have a industry. You work in an industry which is very focused on skilled workforce. You need to have skilled workforce to run compliant US FDA, EU plants. You need those people to be educated as well. Where do you get this stream of skilled labor, and how is the state actually helping develop that, especially for the pharmaceutical space?
We have a lot of people coming in from academia, and there is a lot of industry-academia collaboration working in. And then people are coming from academia who are also being nurtured by industry. So that is the source of skilled workforce.
Okay. Mr. Gandhi, maybe you can also shed some light, considering that you manufacture animal vaccines, which is a very delicate space. Skilled workforce, how do you manage a streamline of skilled workforce for your industry?
Skilled workforce is very important for us because vaccines, we require many technically highly qualified people. Earlier days, we used to have many problems in getting skilled workers, but now there are many universities, there are many institutes that churn out the type of people that we want, scientists, microbiologists, PhDs, postdoctoral students, etc. So I think the state there is still more to be done to get in-house people over here, I would say. But it's far better than what it was earlier. We have many innumerable applications from local universities, students, fresh graduates. And one more interesting thing is that earlier people were not willing to move to Gujarat. Earlier days people would want to go more to Bangalore. Even today there is a trend, not that it is not there, but it's not as a close-minded as what it was in those earlier days. People are willing to move over here.
YES Bank and CNBC-TV18 present the Growth Summit Vision for a $10 trillion economy in association with Max Life Insurance. YES Bank and CNBC-TV18 present the Growth Summit Vision for a $10 trillion economy in association with Max Life Insurance.
Well, Chirag, coming to you, you're the baby of the panelists in terms of the newest business that you've launched. You do have multiple businesses under Pan Healthcare, but you have launched your hygiene product business in 2017, and it basically is adult diapers, baby diapers, in a market which is dominated by MNCs, 98% share of MNCs. How have you managed to break through that market?
We are, 2,400 days old company, particularly in disposable hygiene. We manufacture baby diapers, adult diapers, and sanitary napkin. India is the only one country in the world. Every year, we are creating one Australia. That means more than 2.7 crore babies are newborn in India. So it's a huge opportunity market in the world.
So how are you expanding your business? And you're right now India-centric. Is domestic demand enough to fuel your growth plans? One, what is your capex? Is it Gujarat-based? Second, how are you fueling your growth plans, probably to grow, to go abroad?
We are targeting not only in India. We are making India, but made for world. So we are focusing in all India market as well as near countries. At this moment, we are exporting more than 11 countries with our own brand. Even in Russia, 50,000 pharmacy stores we available with our own brand, Little Angel and Liberty. So that's a great achievement as an Indian company. Earlier, we used to import. India is used to import this hygiene product, but now we are exporting. So it's a proud moment for as an Indian company and Pan Healthcare.
Okay. Well, like I think Mr. Khambata said, that make in India, but make for the world. I think that's one of the key points here. Mr. Behram, how are you probably looking at that in terms of the next growth factor for you? Domestic demand, how much is it? How much do you get in terms of sales from India? And how much are you probably going to look at in terms of exports as the next growth leg?
Early in our journey, in 2006-07, we got orders from New Zealand and South Africa, and we exported. We were very excited. But to be truthful, the domestic market is so huge, and it is growing so fast that we have never really looked at seriously exporting currently. Because I believe that even if we double our capacities in the next 2 years, all of India is only growing at such a fast clip, and the demand for natural mineral water is so huge that exports will be a little bit far off vision for us. But we are surely thinking of, because we get because all our bottles go on aircraft, on on all the different airlines of the world. We get a lot of demand from abroad. So we are planning a new plant for which we have signed an MOU next to our old plant, where the capacities can be quadrupled, means 4 times. So we are focusing on building the new facility, and then exports will start big time, not only with natural mineral water, with enhanced products, meaning sparkling water, which we have. Now our biggest demand from abroad is for our glass bottles. Our very premium glass bottles made from our own ecosystem, designed and which according to people are the finest in the world.
Are all the inputs from India as well? Do you have to import any of your inputs which go into manufacturing?
Not a single thing. Everything is from India. The glass bottles are also from India. The water is from India. And the glass bottles have the entire AVA ecosystem on it. They have been acclaimed internationally. And we get tremendous demand for our glass bottles. But glass bottles per se, because of the environmental reason, are very successful. What we thought would be only 5% of our turnover is now 10% of our turnover. And those bottles are so much in demand that we will be setting up a special unit just for glass bottles as well. Right now it's an integrated unit. Then I believe that glass bottles will come to almost 20-30% of our turnover, and we can then go abroad with them also, because the demand is coming from abroad for those glass bottles.
Chirag, what about you? You have some imports in your supply chain at this point. How much of it is imported, and are you looking to now indigenously manufacture?
Earlier, it was 100% import for all the raw materials, but now it's a 50%. So we have done a backward integration of this after COVID. So half of the raw material we are making by ourselves, and those raw material we are exporting also to other countries. And I would like to give you one more inputs from my side, that export is a bigger opportunity, but India itself, it's a big market for all the FMCG. We have more than 1.2 crore retail stops. None of the country in the world having this much big horizon, right? So any FMCG products is coming. India is the next booming, buying powerful country where it's unlimited, it's a global opportunity.
Vishal, you're in an industry where we do have a dominant presence in terms of importing APIs. We're trying to change that. But how much does the company have to import in terms of APIs, and what are you doing to probably integrate your supply chain?
Pharmaceutical sector is to some extent dependent on imports, but the government have initiated PLI scheme, and now we are becoming we are trying to shift it to completely self-reliant, and Dr. Mansukh Mandavia have already initiated similar schemes on medical devices as well, that we have to be completely self-reliant from backward integration to complete product manufacturing. So on that note, the imports have been reduced.
For your company in specific. Yeah. By how much?
By a substantial number.
Well, Mr. Suparkar, you're in a position where you're probably looking at domestic demand to fuel your next leg of growth, because chemicals is going through a tough period. I think titanium dioxide is what you're looking at, which is an input for the paint industry, largely imported. When are we looking at that taking place by? When are you probably going to increase your capex for titanium dioxide, which is mainly an India-based business?
Right. We have just started titanium dioxide, and the product will stabilize by April 24. And immediately we are going to add up another 250 crore rupees to double the capacity. So by December 24, the capacity will be 100 tons per day.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I just want a quick, brief comment from all of y'all in terms of the recommendation that you would probably have for the Gujarat government for you to probably enable growth. All of y'all are family-run businesses. Y'all do have a second gen, third gen in place. They are probably looking at AI, ML as the next leg of growth. So how are you asking the Gujarat government to facilitate that? What would your recommendation be? Mr. Gandhi, you go first.
Honestly, there is nothing as a recommendation. I think the government should keep up the pace as what it has set. there is a good perception created. Now that perception, if made into reality, I think that is something which is more important rather than any recommendation from my side.
Okay.
I am on an advisory panel of the government of Gujarat for technical education, and I have been insisting, and they are of course doing it, creating classes for AI, ML, and blockchain at engineering level. So after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, when the new students will come out as an engineer, they may have basic knowledge to be absorbed in industry for that.
Okay, wonderful to know that. Vishal?
Well, I think AI and ML will have a great shift in the way we work today, and industry should have a cells for companies or startup or SMEs to get knowledge of AI and ML, how they can incorporate AI and ML into their businesses. That would be of great help for companies to pace ahead. And also for institutes and academia to get students to have knowledge of AI and ML for commercial scale. That would be of great help.
Okay, Chirag?
Till now, Gujarat government is proactive to give all the incentives and subsidies compared to all other states in the India. I would urge Gujarat government as well that still they have to be more aggressive than other states to be retain more investments in Gujarat.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And Behram?
3 suggestions. First is that what he said, that we should have a more aggressive industrial policy and bring in such incentives that people are not attractive. Gujarati is very enterprising. They will go where the money is and where the incentives are. So the Gujarat government should keep on giving out such incentive schemes so that the Gujarati businessman, industrialist and the businessman stays in Gujarat first. Second, despite all the best efforts of the government, the bureaucracy and the statutory authorities does make it tough for us sometimes. So the progressive way the government is, if this statutory can be reduced, if decisions can be faster, if the pace of reforms can be faster, it would be good. And most importantly, skilled workforce is lacking because everybody wants to do business in Gujarat. Even many employees have set up their own little businesses. So skilled workforce is the key to success of Gujarat, and for that many ITIs are needed, many apart from AI, basic skills, many technical institutes are needed, and all of the highest quality, so that even if our workforce keeps on moving on, we keep on getting skilled workforce. That is the key.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Great getting your insights in this evening. Thank you very much.
YES Bank and CNBC-TV18 present the Growth Summit Vision for a $10 trillion economy in association with Max Life Insurance. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.